Yo, what up? Welcome back to Spooky TV. And today we're going to be talking about the Jamaica bobsled team. Yes, the Jamaica bobsled team. They're back in the Winter Olympics after 20 years. And of course, the much fanfare as expected. You know, the Jamaican bobsled team were immortalized because they created history 20 years ago when they qualified for the Winter Olympics, and they were immortalized by a movie called Cool Runnings. And Cool Runnings, you know, is very popular for those persons who have never traveled outside of Jamaica, and especially those that have ventured outside of the tri-state area, you know, to places like Idaho, places like Wyoming, places like Colorado, you know, the colder places, places like Canada. You will see the power of this movie, where as soon as you're having a conversation with white people from those areas, they will tell you, hey, Cool Runnings, man. If they're not saying, all right, this is how it is when you're abroad, right? A white person from any one of those cold areas, they will say to you, Bob Marley, to build a conversation, are Cool Runnings. So if they're not talking about reggae and they're not talking about Bob Marley, they're gonna be talking about Cool Runnings. You know what I mean? Back home in Jamaica, it might not be like the movie that will be on every Jamaican's tongue, you know, as the first form of a discussion. You know what I mean? But trust me, when you go to the cold areas, you know, where snow is a thing, you know, Cool Runnings is definitely something that will spark a conversation. You know, because we are from a tropical island, you know what I mean? We don't have snow. And so the shock value of us being from the Caribbean, one of the hottest places in the world, granted the weather is beautiful, by the way, you know, it is something that was so remarkable that today it is still talked about. And it's very good to see that they're actually back, you know, competing after 20 years. And one wonders, why did it take so long? You know what I mean? And I am not the only one that is surprised about this or excited about this, you know what I mean? International media houses like ESPN, CNN, ABC, you know, they have all been endorsing it and even showing our bobsled team members over their own athletes. You know what I mean? We're actually getting more coverage. And of course, that is because of the whole shock value of Jamaicans entering this competition. And of course, you know, credit to the Cool Runnings movie. I hope that we are able to medal this time around and not just, you know, go there and just dance and that and show aspects of our culture. Even if we don't medal, just qualifying and participating is a win for Jamaica, a small island with just over 2 million people. You know what I mean? So this is a very important feat. Also, it makes you wonder why did it take 20 years for us to return to this competition after getting so much traction? While we are basically spending so much money on the reggae boys. You know what I mean? And reggae boys, like, honestly, the reggae boys need to be defunded. You know what I mean? They need to earn the money they with corporate Jamaica, and Jamaicans are putting at the reggae boys. You know what I mean? The reggae boys are an embarrassment, you know? We have so many different sports which Jamaicans can dominate if they get the right amount of investment. You know what I mean? We are seeing where athletes who throw javelin, equestrian. You know what I mean? Like, so many athletes are trying, but because of lack of funding, they are not able to pursue the sports that they want to pursue. You know what I mean?
Elijah Rastafari Selassie, yeah. There is nothing like my ganja.
The runners are experiencing the same thing. If you're not one of those top athletes, you know, in the running category, like, you don't get as much contribution from corporate Jamaica. Meanwhile, the reggae boys, all they do is turn up in their black, green, and gold, and their sponsorship pouring in from everywhere. You know what I mean? They need to be defunded, man, because, like, the reggae boys are not doing anything whereas football is concerned. Because Jamaicans have a misconception of what football is. You know what I mean? A Jamaican just wants to, what we call, shift, salad, and pile. You know what I mean? Salad is what you call nutmeg. You know what I mean? No.
Relaxation. Imagination. Oh God, police station.
Football goes way more than just shifting somebody or kicking the ball over the person's head or pushing it between their legs and then celebrate. And you know what I mean? Those are the things which Jamaicans find fascinating about football. And I think that is why we're so poor at it, because, like, the way we interpret the game is flawed in comparison to countries that are actually good at football, where they know that it's about passing the ball, picking your spots, and, you know, sharing the ball. Until we start looking at football like that, I doubt we will improve. You know what I mean? And Jamaica thinks, the funny thing is, a lot of international countries might think that, like, track and field is actually the most beloved sport in Jamaica. You know, ironically, they would be surprised to know that football is actually the preferred sport. You know what I mean? Jamaica thinks it's a football nation, but, I mean, sorry to burst your bubble, you know what I mean? But no, Jamaica is not a football nation, you know? So I think we should definitely be investing in other sports, you know, like the bobsled team, you know what I mean? and also, gymnastics and diversify the thing, man. You know what I mean? Instead of just putting all this money in the reggae boys. And trust me, reggae boys, if anyone happen to hear this and take it personal, so be it. You know what I mean? Prove me wrong. Qualify for the next World Cup how many years from now, you know what I mean? You were just eliminated recently, you know what I mean? So pull up on the socks, man, you know what I mean? That's all we want. We just want to see more production, you know? Because CONCACAF is like the weakest side of football, and Jamaica cannot dominate CONCACAF. So if you cannot beat a team like a Panama and a Costa Rica and America and Mexico, which are not really good teams on the international scale of things, why would you want to go to World Cup? What are you going to do when you get there? You know? Are you going to be dominating Brazil, and Argentina if you can't beat a team like Panama? You know what I mean? So back to the bobsled team. Much respect to them. Happy to see you guys back in the competition. And this is indeed another proud moment for Jamaica. And I just want corporate Jamaica to continue to invest